together as a classroom. Um, so what have we seen as general observations? One, the students are happy to be back out. Happy but nervous, a little anxious, the usual kinds of feelings when you meet a class full of new friends. A little scared, a little excited, all that. And teachers are really, really glad to have students out. You should talk to some of them. Canteen workers are extremely happy, and vendors in the schools to be able to ply their trade again and earn for themselves. So, you know, when we close schools, it's not just the students and teachers, it's a large number of people that suffer for those closures. Of course, whether we're closing or opening would depend only on what is in the best interest of children. But we can't close our eyes to the fact that when we do close and so on, that canteen workers who themselves have children to feed and look after and so on and so forth. So those are general observations. What worries me, physically the schools are ready. As you can see, they're ready, they're accommodating the children. You have some small issues like furniture being packed up somewhere because they have excess when the school doesn't have enough, and so we have to do some of those reconciliations. So we're ready physically for these children to come back into school. What I am seeing, and this is just cursory glances at what's happening, you know, year 2 nursery children couldn't pronounce or couldn't identify letters and sound out the short vowel sounds. That's very worrying because at this point, 3rd term in year 2, they should be reading. These kids are going to go into grade 1, which is, you know, primary school. And so we really have to find, and I don't think people fully appreciate what 2 years of school closure has done. We have to find ways to make sure these children get exposed to the hours of education they need, that we have parents who are interested and the attitudes are right. We may have to work into July, August. How we do that would be dependent on who's willing to work and all of that. But you know, that's very worrying, that kind of response. Children in grade 7 who have never seen, which is first form, as we know it, who came out of school in grade 5, right? In what we know as 3rd standard. So we have real issues academically to pursue. We are administering or have already administered diagnostics. That's to check to see where students are on relative to where they should be, and that's how we're going to be teaching. All students are supposed to be going back a level. So if you're supposed to be in grade 4 now, teacher is supposed to start grade 3's work with that student, with that class, and move them up. So we've consolidated the curriculum to be able to make it have students get exposed to a year before. So that when we used to have 40 weeks of learning in any year, we've consolidated it into 20 weeks. So you were expected, a teacher is expected to teach the 20 weeks of the year before, the grade before. So let's take a grade 4 student. The first 20 weeks of the term of the school year, should be exposure to the grade 3 work, and once they've gotten that and mastered that, we move into grade 4 work. And then when 20 weeks of grade 4, and that's your 40 weeks. When we move into grade 5, they repeat 20 weeks of grade 4's work, and then move on to grade 5's work. When we move into grade 6, we're not doing grade 6 work anymore, so they get to do back the entire grade 5 work. That's how it should be happening, and I truly hope that's happening across levels. Now it requires us to monitor and implement, because those changes are absolutely necessary if we're not to be suffering from the effects of COVID 5 years from now. But what I have seen academically is worrying, and parents need to pay attention to what we're asking of them so that they can make sure their children are benefiting from the kind of accelerated learning that we need at this stage.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.